close your eyes and imagine the future. Maybe some of you are picturing Star Trek or starships, or maybe just that great cheeseburger that you want for dinner. Now picture the past. Which one is more accessible to you? I'm going to guess you said the future because you are great at imagining the possibilities. It's why you love 3D printers and you love fresh notebooks and office supplies. They make you nerd giddy. But you suck at failing. You suck at failing. It's okay because we all suck at failing. It's why your 3D printers and your fresh notebooks that made you so happy and so nerd giddy at the beginning now sit idle collecting dust. The only thing standing in your way between creating the next great bouncy ball or cure for cancer or even a joke is you, your personality defects. You see, when presented with the evidence that you're not as smart as you think you are through failure, you shut down, you stop participating, you do this. Did you, what is this, by the way? Yeah, did you know this is total bunk? If you did a Google search on this, you would find out how totally wrong you are. Ostriches dig holes and nests in the ground, and then they turn their eggs with their beaks because they don't have hands. The thing that made you so frustrated about that failure in your knowledge is called the sunk cost fallacy. You're wrong, you know you're wrong, and yet you just keep digging. Combine that with confirmation bias. If it sounds true to you, it must be true, and you get a recipe for catastrophic failure. Failure is not a sin, but we don't have the proper language. We don't have the words to describe that early failure is courageous and late failure is stubbornness. And so the right time to decide that an idea is broken is at the beginning, before we've got those sunk costs attributed. It's a shame that we decide to cling on to these broken ideas when we really shouldn't. We are so great at imagining the possibilities. What if instead of, oh, you lost your chance at success, oh, I'm so sorry you lost. What if instead we said, cool, you failed, what's next? Cool, you failed, what's next? The biggest, most prevalent public failure of our failing today is entrepreneur mental health. 75% of venture capital-backed startups fail. 95% fall short of their goals. 45% of entrepreneurs feel stressed out, and we're like, duh, dude, you're starting a business. But if you stop to consider that many entrepreneurs are likely hypomaniacs in that they get less sleep than the average person, they also vary wildly throughout for their personal worth throughout an average day than most people do in a year, then you start to consider that the language that we use around failure is very dangerous. Failure is not a weakness. Say this with me. Failure is not a weakness. Thank you. See, we have this idea of the perfect entrepreneur in our society, the Superman, the Batman, it's usually a man, the person who's out there, and that's wrong, the person who's out there doing this and fighting for capitalism all by themselves, when really we should be idolizing the Avengers or the Justice League, the people who are out there coming together, trusted individuals, and solving problems together. When credit and blame don't matter, and a 700-person study from Science Magazine proved this, that when teams function well, there's an intelligence multiplier versus those individuals performing together. And then when teams perform together, they're gender biased, they respect one another, and they get through the bad ideas quicker to the better ideas. And they trust one another. There's an intelligence multiplier. The problems that we face today as a society are not single-player problems. They're massively multiplayer, big, hairy problems. They're the dragon at the end of Dungeons & Dragons campaigns. And so all you need to do this yourself is to create a solver space. Get your own personal team of Avengers together and a whiteboard and present ideas and pitch ideas quickly and have them present to you why you're wrong in different methods and from different perspectives. And in fact, we don't even need the whiteboard. We can do this right now. Pull out your phones, and I know this is normally rude during a presentation, but pull out your phones and tweet at TEDxFR. This is the hashtag. I am working on blank, or I hope blank gets solved. And we, as an audience, will all pitch ideas if we have something to contribute from our individual perspectives, and I want to see this happen. And we'll get through those bad ideas and into the better ideas sooner. And if you think that this couldn't possibly happen in the corporate mindset or where there's money involved, look at Toyota and Tesla, who have open sourced their energy patents. Any one of us in this room could use their ideas as a stepping stone to create the next great battery. So I put to you that while failing sucks, we don't necessarily have to suck at failing. especially not indefinitely. In fact, if we create intentional language around failure to make sure that early failure is courageous and late failure is stubbornness, we can save the world together in a global solver space. Thank you.